What's up? I am here again, yet again, back again. It's a lot of agains. I'm back this time to talk more music with you guys too. Not a musician by any stretch of the imagination. Couldn't strum a chord if there was a gun to my family's head. But I'm gonna talk music with you. This time we're talking The Next Star. Now, if you don't know what The Next Star is, I'm sorry that I'm about to show it to you, but it's essentially like Canada's version of like The Voice, I guess would be its closest comparison. I'd say American Idol, but there is unfortunately Canadian Idol too.
Can we go from the top for 1 second? Amanda, can you step forward and sing the beginning of the song like you're not singing it to them, but you're actually performing it in some manner or fashion?
Yeah, Zach, you really scared her. Look at her, ladies.
Welcome to the day. Welcome to the real world.
They come, they audition, and if you make it onto the show, you have to stick around for a little bit. You can't just go back where you're from, right? You gotta, I guess it's like American Idol / Canadian Idol. I don't know. It's just a prepubescent version of those shows. It's hosted by this guy. That guy right there. He's the host. I think he used to be on Degrassi, which was a popular Canadian show. Probably the one and only popular Canadian show, getting a reboot and everything.
Your dad is gay.
But anyways, yeah, like I said, the basic format of the show, it's just like any singing competition you've ever seen, but with prepubescent children.
Some girls in the audience, and they were like making hearts to Sean Desmond. They're like, hi.
I was into the Disney Channel shows and everything. This show never sucked me in. I knew people who went and auditioned for it, and I still didn't watch. That speaks more to me than them. To market the show, in between the shows I was wanting to watch, they would throw in music videos from the show. So I saw some of these as a kid, and I just would die laughing at them. Like even as a child, like it was aimed at me, and I was laughing at it. And that's pretty much all I want to show you. It's just the music videos that spewed out of this show, because I just went back and rewatched these music videos. They hold up, and I mean that in the worst possible way. Like the fact that people like sat down, wrote these songs, directed and edited and filmed the music videos, that's the part that blows my mind, that people like saw it as a finished product. But the thing that's like vital to remember here is it's not the kids' fault that any of it is as low quality as it is. Like they just showed up, had a song written for them. I think part of the show is like they were a part of the writing process or whatever, I don't know. So these songs were they were written for them, and then these music videos, they just show up and this is what they have to do. So it's not on the kids at all. It's on the people who made it, and it's just so offensively bad for these kids. The fact that they had to grow up past this and like go back and watch this must be just so upsetting for them, or a cherished memory. So I think it's only fair that we get into one of the finalists. His name's Parker. Now Parker has probably my favorite video of them all. Like the one when I'm going to show people, it's Parker's. Parker's my guy. And we're gonna kick things off with Parker's It Might Be You. Let's give it a listen. So right off the bat, the editing of this video could give you a seizure. There's like random jump cuts mixed in with like these cross dissolves. It's a complete mess. Look how maliciously this kid grabs his buddy's hand after he smokes him in RPS. That's what the boys call it, rock, paper, scissors. Too long, RPS. Throws like a rock, paper, scissors, but instead of just like, gotcha, it's like a gotcha. So no, I wouldn't play with that kid. They just showed the same shot of this girl staring like 5 times. Like they couldn't like set up the camera a little differently each take. One shot cut like 4 or 5 different times. That's kind of exactly what I'm talking about when I say that these are kind of like unfinished projects. Like just set up the camera. Also, goodness me, I paused, and this young girl's teeth are just separated like you wouldn't believe. And I'm not making fun of her. I had gap teeth when I was growing up too, but that's just a tough freeze frame for me.
When do I tell you? What should I say? There's so many words getting in my way.
This guy like kicks it off with like, after talking about how he has feelings for her, what do I tell you? What should I say? Buddy, pump the brakes. You just looked at this girl. But I bet it's hard to pump the brakes when you and the boys are just pounding slushies at the skate park. It must be pretty tough. Their heads must be in the clouds. Like, brain freeze alert, am I right, fellas?
I wish it was easy. Why is it so hard?
When he says, "I wish it was easy," the camera guy had no direction at all. He was just following hands the entire way. He didn't receive the guidance he needed. Now, although I'm a fan of everything going on in the video, it goes without saying that my favorite scene in the video is the bike scene. So I'm just gonna break it down here. You know, the things that I noticed, the little details that not everyone will pick out the first time they view it. This video goes without saying demands multiple viewings to really catch everything. So let's just get into this bike scene.
Can't let this moment slip away. This could drive me crazy. Don't think I can take it another day.
I mean, before it even really starts, it's the first thing you see is Parker sitting down on a BMX bike.
Wait a minute, what the hell?
I don't know if you guys have ever ridden a BMX bike, but that's not how you do it. That is a stand-up vehicle. You have to stand up to ride that comfortably. I would imagine the reason he's sitting is to pull off that slick hand gesture, so I'll let that slide. It also seems like the camera guy's like on a bike trying to film like behind him, like film Parker, because he's just all over the place. He doesn't even get Parker in frame sometimes when he's singing. I feel like I can just picture the cameraman being like, shit, am I getting him? Oh god. Oh Jesus, come on. Parker, slow the fuck down, come on.
There's so many words getting in my way.
The little hair flip when they're parked, that is 2011, like in a nutshell is the hair flip. Now my best guess, and I'm not even joking, is that the editor learned new effects like when they made this video, and he just had to test them out. He's like, you know what, this is going on the next star. I probably don't need to take this as seriously as some other projects that I have. Just double exposed, like the beginning there was like 2 different skateboarders going on with the heart. It was mind fuck. But this one you have the freeze frame of Parker riding, sitting down on the bike, not doing a trick, and that's just like the issue. Like there's nothing wrong with the effect itself. It's just clearly this is the editor trying it out for the first time, because Parker is not my favorite athlete of all time, Matt Hoffman BMX rider, and he's not doing any tricks. He's just riding. Generally these freeze frames are reserved when you're doing a trick like a 360 or something. You can see them in the 180 position and then the full rotation. This one's just Parker A to B, and I think that's so funny. I love that thought that the editor's just getting his reps in and he's using Parker as the mule. Poor Kid's music video is his experiment, his laboratory.
And baby, it might be
There's a 0% chance he made a heart there. He had a little speed wobble at the end on the last turn and everything. I would bet my house. I might go back and edit this just to show the shape he made, but I would bet my house that he did not make a heart. Holy shit. I never noticed until now that she was the one putting the heart through it. I always thought that was Parker. Again, this demands multiple viewings. Can't stress it enough now. Case in point.
And baby, it might be you. Baby, it might be you.
I love to imagine Parker like gets home here after his long day of riding bikes and crushing slushies and stuff, drinking and driving. Bad news. But I like to imagine he just gets home and his mom's like, Parker, what the fuck have you been? And he just starts like freaking out.
The mom, I was at the skate park, like with my friend, we were drinking slushies, I met this girl.
Hey, Parker, I don't give a fuck, it's late, you get inside here to school tomorrow.
But then she drives by, Parker's giving her the smile, she's giving him the smile. Parker wants to put an underage dent in that, which is just an unfortunate sentence that just came out of my mouth, but it's also the cold hard truth of the situation. So, like I said, Parker, it might be you. That's easy my all-time favorite of season 4 of The Next Star. Controversial, I know, but still. It's just an all-time fusion of music and video into one. However, this wasn't Parker season 4, it was The Next Star. There are others competing to be the next star, and one of them is Charlie. And Charlie here released a little jingle called Good As Gone, and this is one I remember pretty vividly. It doesn't have the same lasting impact as Parker's to me, can't speak for others. You know, I say we just get into Charlie's and see what she's all about.
Tongue-tied, trying to get the words out.
Uh-oh, she's quirky, she's making the faces. We have a quirkster on her hands.
At least fun, but look who's coming undone. Now I'm good as gone.
It is clear as day that whoever made this video, like the director, had a vision. What that vision is, we may never know. All I know is that there's an apple floating in the middle of the room, and I have no fucking idea what that means. Also, side note, like, can you imagine living in this room? Like, did the parents paint this? Did they buy it like this? If so, could they maybe have bought some different colored accessories to accommodate the white walls of the room? Or are they just like, do they know that their daughter's like a mental patient?
But it's too late now to try and get me back. You can knock on my door, but I'm not yours anymore. And the bad revenge is
So the closet was like stacked with paint, which blocked the mini golf course in her closet, I guess. But like, did she not know that there was paint stacked in the closet? Has she ever opened the closet before? And if someone is trying to hide the glow-in-the-dark mini golf course from her, they did a terrible job. They just stacked a lot of paint in the way. It's like, no, what is she gonna do, move the paint cans? No, she's not getting in there. Yeah, no, Brian says she's gonna move the paint cans. No, like...
You had a million chances, but strike three, it's time to call you out. Too bad.
Now wait a minute here, there's paint in front of her, but not on the camera lens, which would imply that there's like clear plastic or glass in between us and her. And this just increases the likelihood of my theory that she's a mental patient being observed. And now the question is why? Why Charlie? Let's keep watching.
I was right there, you were so wrong. But it's too late now to try and get me back. You can knock on my door, but I'm not yours anymore.
Also, this girl is like maybe 13, and she's talking about like this kid was a jerk, like I was the best thing you'll ever have. If I'm her age, which is potentially 13 years old, I have forgotten about this girl like right after recess, right? Like I'm crushing Minecraft when I get home, like Manhunt, maybe Neighborhood on the playground. Like my boys are taking my mind off you. You are in the past, so I don't know why she's all hung up. Women, right? Let's hear it from my fellas. Where are my fellas at?
Good, yeah, I'm good as. Good, yeah, I'm good as. Good, yeah, I'm good as gone.
Would your initial reaction to seeing strange kids dancing in your closet glow-in-the-dark mini golf course, would your initial reaction be positive like hers here? Like, would you be excited at the opportunity that's presenting itself? Because I wouldn't. Mine would be more like grabbing the nearest blunt object kind of reaction, like willing to go to jail kind of reaction, like putting my freedom on the line kind of reaction, because I'm not pumped like she is. And then at the end, her room cleaned itself. So either this just seems like a weird anti-drug PSA or something. Like they're testing her on drugs, like experimental hallucinogenic drugs. So they have her isolated in this completely white room, and they're observing her. And then when she steps into the closet, she's like having her hallucinations, and then she comes back and none of it actually happened, and now she's just dead tired. I think Charlie did drugs. No, Charlie did drugs. Charlie did drugs. So that's Good As Gone by Charlie. It doesn't have the same oomph that Parker's song left me with, but it's certainly not bad. Music videos doesn't sniff Parker's again, but still, it has its moments. Do have to say though, Charlie, she's I think in terms of child singer, she's pretty good in front of the camera. She has a lot of chemistry and stuff. Like her personality's showing. She's willing to put it out there. Because I know if it was me and I was potentially 12, 13 years old, I would be like cardboard up there with my plaid shorts and my highlighted hair.